there's a big difference between a difficult team member and a toxic team member. If you think you have a toxic team member, one that makes you go, ah, then by all means, watch this video because I'm going to give you the red flags that you need to be aware of if you have a toxic team member. And if you stay tuned to the end of this video, I'm going to have something very special for you to ensure that your projects are not toxic. Hi, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Adriana Girdler, and on this channel, you're going to get the best practical project management advice coming to you weekly. So please consider subscribing to this awesome community. Now, if you want to know what are some of those red flags that you must be aware of in regards to toxic team members, let's get to it. They are just rude. Now, we've all come across at one point in time where someone just maybe had some really poor communication skills, and by what they said, it kind of stunned us. But when it happens consistently, and people are rude and disrespectful and condescending, and it's a constant thing, and even how things are presented, it's kind of done like a backhanded slap, either compliment, let's say, but it's really done in a rude way. That is a sign or a definite red flag of a toxic person. Because with any team member, you're supposed to be respectful. You're supposed to be collaborative and have some compassion for your team members. But when you have someone who's not doing any of that, that's a red flag and something you need to be aware of. And if you can nip it in the bud by addressing that rude comment, I highly recommend that. They take credit for your accomplishments. Okay, again, another big red flag when it comes to a toxic team member. When you're in a team, you're supposed to be working together. In fact, it's usually not just one person doing all the work. It's a collaboration of everyone doing work together. And in fact, someone's work may feed into someone else's before it goes to the end result of the last person dealing with it, or you're getting feedback and input and brainstorming. But it is a collaboration. And when someone is taking credit for all the work that other people are doing, that is definitely a sign of toxicity because they want all the glory. And it's not about the glory, it's about working together collaboratively in order to get the work done. That is a red flag that you need to look into because that's telling you that person is only thinking about themselves and also has potentially a political agenda in mind if they're looking to take all the credit. So definite big red flag. They are too emotional. Now, let me just clarify right now, because I don't want to hear anything in the comments. Emotions are good. There's nothing wrong with emotions, okay? It's the extremeness of emotions that becomes very toxic. It's when the slightest thing sets people off. It's if you're feeling like you're walking around or walking on eggshells around them. That's the issue. So in a normal conversation, if you say something and the reaction should just be, yeah, you can be a little disappointed or upset, but they go into right out anger and yelling and screaming, whoa, that's toxicity. And that is a big red flag that you definitely need to be aware of. So being too overly emotional, and it's not just the anger part of it, it could even be on the other extreme side of manipulation and being super sad and kind of overtaking everything because there's a manipulation to that. That's the toxicity part. You just have to be aware of because that over emotion where it's like overly done is a huge red flag. They don't or won't listen. Now, before we move on to this tip, I want you to listen. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give this video a like as it helps us spread the community and I really would appreciate it. So thank you so much. Now let's go back to that tip of they won't or don't listen. That is a big sign and red flag of a toxic team member. Is that it's their way or the highway, and any other alternative, they're not going to listen to it, or they find some way to deflect. All of that leads to you not being able to share concepts or ideas or resolve issues, and it really can derail items that you're working on collectively as a team, when the whole purpose is to stick on your track, your deliverable, your agenda, whatever it is that you're doing collectively. So that aspect of they won't listen, or they have their hidden agenda and they're trying to get it through and that's why they're not listening, that is a huge red flag. So definitely watch out for that. They are never wrong. Okay, let me just really stress something clear here. We're human. We're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes. We're not automated where I can program myself to ensure that I give the same output all the time. We are going to make mistakes. And a toxic person and a big red flag is when they do not take any ownership or admit for when a mistake is made. That's normal. Of course you're going to make mistakes, but you have to own it, and you have to ensure and speak with your other team members and admit to it so that you can course correct accordingly so you can get back on track. Why? Because that's what teams do. They work together to ensure that the overall goal and deliverable is met. Toxic team member, however, won't even admit to it, may even keep mum until you figure out when it's way too late that they didn't even do the work they were supposed to do because they're not going to talk to it. Just watch out for that. That's another red flag. Now that you know the signs and those red flags of toxic team members that you do have to be aware of, I want you to now take a look at this. It's a free download just for you. I have it under this link, under this video. Because your team members can be toxic, your projects can be toxic, and you want to know how to ensure that you don't go to failure mode. And so you need to do this. The beauty of it, it's free. It's free for you. Check it out. It's not going to hurt you. It's only going to help you. On that note, thank you so much, and I'll see you at the next video.